In a world where financial stress and mental health struggles seem to go hand in hand, one podcast aims to help you find solace and guidance. The FAM Podcast, navigating you through the tricky waters of personal finance and mental well-being. Our mission is to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create a healthy relationship with money while nurturing your mental health. Join host Braimoh, a debt to prosperity success story, as he dives deep into financial habits and mental well-being. Discover Braimoh's secrets of financial literacy and mental health strategies for coping with financial stress. Get ready for thought-provoking discussions, practical tips, and Braimoh's real-life stories of triumph over adversity. Let's embark on a transformative journey together that will change your relationship with money, your state of mind, and ultimately change your life. Tune into the FAM Podcast.
Hey family, Braimoh here, and welcome to another episode of the FAM Podcast, where we talk about personal finance, about real money, real life, and our mental well-being, even our mental battle we might be fighting in silence. In today's episode, I'll be talking about something very different from what we used to talk about. Today is not just another episode. It's a financial wake-up call because something big just happened.
Welcome to the FAM Podcast, a podcast about finance and mental health, teaching you good monetary habits to increase your income and improving your relationship with money, all while helping you with your mental well-being. And now here's your host, Braimoh.
If you've been watching the news, you see what's been going on financially around the world. On the 2nd of April this year, 2025, President Trump announced something he's calling Liberation Day.
My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. Waiting for a long time. April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy again. We're going to make it wealthy, good and wealthy.
He says it's economic independence for America, but what's being called Liberation Day or Liberation might actually feel like inflation, higher prices, and mental pressure for the rest of the world.
In a few moments, I will sign a historic executive order instituting reciprocal tariffs on countries throughout the world. Reciprocal, that means they do it to us and we do it to them. Very simple, can't get any simpler than that.
Let's break it down. I will explain everything in this video. I want you to pay close attention to what I'm about to say. I'm going to analyze everything Donald Trump said in his speech. Let's start with the basics. Question for you. What is a tariff? I will explain. A tariff is just a fancy word for a tax on imported goods and services. That means when the US buys cars, phones, or goods from other countries, a tariff adds extra cost. Now, a trade war happens when other countries fight back. They add their own tariffs. This creates rising prices, supply chains issues, and tension across the global economy.
The United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise, until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5%. on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps Worst of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations as a result of these colossal trade barriers.
And who pays the price? We do. You do. We all do. You, me, and every family around the world pay for this. Don't just think it's America business.
81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. And I say that friend and foe. And in many cases, the friend is worse than the foe in terms of trade. But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe. That's why, effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles.
Here is what President Trump announced. Follow me, guys. A universal 10% tariff on nearly all imports, 34% on China, 20% on EU, 26% on India, up to 49% on Cambodia and Vietnam. That's a lot. And a 25% tariff on all imported cars. It doesn't matter where the cars are coming from. Canada, here in the UK, just name it. You've got to acknowledge one thing. He's bold.
We subsidize a lot of countries and keep them going and keep them in business. In the case of Mexico, it's $300 billion a year. In the case of Canada, it's close to $200 billion a year. And I say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I mean, at what point do we say, you got to work for yourselves and you got to, this is why we have the big deficits. This is why we have that amount of debt that's been placed on our heads over the last number of years. And we're really not taking it anymore.
This move, it wasn't made lightly. From a U.S. political standpoint, it is a show of strength. It's about prioritizing American industry, reshaping trade, and reducing dependency on global imports. And my friend, that takes guts. But here is the truth we cannot ignore, whether the repo is already affecting you or not. Bold moves at the top always create waves at the bottom. That's just the way it goes. And when you are not the one writing the policy, you need to be the one preparing for the outcome. Because the ripple effect of this announcement, it won't stop at American shores. It's going to hit pockets in Europe, Africa, Asia, and beyond. It will affect the cost of living for ordinary people, no doubt. And for many already living on the edge, this could push things even further.
We cannot pay the deficits of Canada, Mexico, and so many other countries. We used to do it. We can't do it anymore. We take care of countries all over the world. We pay for their military. We pay for everything they have to pay. And then when you want to cut back a little bit, they get upset that you're not taking care of them any longer. But we have to take care of our people, and we're going to take care of our people first. And I'm sorry to say that.
Even Americans, we also feel it before they start to enjoy the benefits of this announcement. We are not here to bash President Trump. With all due respect, he's one of my mentors in terms of business and leadership. He takes bold decisions in the midst of criticism. The fact remains he's still a great leader, and that's why he's making these bold moves right now.
And today we're standing up for the American worker, and we are finally putting America first.
He's just doing what he feels is the best for American people. So why don't you think what is best for you and for your family? We are here to understand the impact, to learn the lessons, and most importantly, to prepare ourselves and our families for what's coming, because the inflation is going to come. It will affect us in different ways, whether you're living in America or not. So be ready and prepare yourself, sharpen your financial duty skills, budget wisely, and make the right decisions.
The United States can no longer produce enough antibiotics to treat our sick. We have a tremendous problem. We have to go to foreign countries to treat our sick. If anything ever happened from a war standpoint, we wouldn't be able to do it. We import virtually all of our computers, phones, televisions, and electronics. We used to dominate the field, and now we import it all from different countries. A single shipyard in China now produces more ships every year than all of the American shipyards combined. Think of that. And it was a business that we used to dominate. We used to dominate it totally. In short, chronic trade deficits are no longer merely an economic problem. They're a national emergency that threatens our security and our very way of life. It's a very great threat to our country. And for these reasons, starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we even thought of that.
Now, on paper, this sounds like a strategy, but in practice, it's a tax on everyday people. Companies won't bear the cost because the reason why every business exists out there is to make profits. They will pass the tax onto you in higher prices. For example, you're in business right now and you are being taxed. You ensure your customers bears the burden because you want to make profits. That's the essence of most business out there. Let's make it real. Your groceries, your foodstuff, they are going up. They will go up. Your phone you use for Instagram, TikTok, it will go up. Your laptop for your studies, they are all imported, more expensive because the prices are going to go up. Your car services, your parts are foreign. Price will rise. Even your child's school bag might even cost more. Imagine this. You've been saving for months and now everything on your list just got 10 to 30% more expensive overnight because there's a global tariff going on right now. Every business out there, they are going to capitalize on this. What about your salary? Your wages, I guess, still the same. It's not going up, right? You see, your salary is still the same right now, but prices are going up. Your wages, your salary is at the same level. This is how inflation creeps into our homes and our mental space. So these things happening right now, they are very important to us as an individual and family. This isn't just about the US. It's global. Pay attention to the economy. My previous video, I talked about the importance of studying the economy and the factors that are responsible for prices. Now, look at this.
China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? European Union, they're very tough, very, very tough traders. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff.
When one country adds tariff, others will respond. Retaliation begins. This is how trade war escalates. Canada, they are not happy. China, they are going to retaliate. Notes to notes. Countries that rely on exports, they lose business. Industries that rely on imports, they raise prices. Everyone feels it, especially people in developing nations, because when global prices rise, local inflation hits hardest. So you would tell me that the importance of studying the economy is not genuine? This is the reason why we should really sit down and study the factors that are responsible to the point where how much we earn is being determined by various parameters, various factors, various economies, trend. Now, let's talk about what nobody else is saying, the mental health impact in all of this. When food, rent, and essential go up, but your income doesn't, that creates anxiety, stress, and even depression because your income is stable on the same level, but prices are going up. This requires urgent attention on your finances. You start to feel like you are always playing catch up. And to be honest, it's not your fault. It's the system the way it's been structured to keep us in the same circle. We keep on struggling. That's why you have to enhance your financial literacy skills. This is why the Farm Podcast talks about both money and mental well-being, because you can't have one without the other. So, questions for you and I. What do we do? Here is how we can stay ahead. I'll share with you, like I always do, free of charge. Number 1, track your money daily. Awareness is power, like I always say here on the Farm Podcast. Number 2, cut unnecessary expenses. Delay gratification, protect your peace. Number 3, save what you can. Whether it's $10, $500, or $1,000, just keep saving. Save when you can. Number 4, look for local alternatives. Reduce import dependency. That's what you do if you run small business and you depend solely on imports. I'm sure that's what Donald Trump is trying to achieve right now. Reduce that level of dependency. You want to make America a single market. Number 5, educate yourself on policies. Learn what decisions are being made, who are responsible for the decision that is affecting your money. Number 6, vote. My friend, vote. Because tariffs, inflation, economic decisions are all political, trust me. So you choose who you want to vote for that will actually look out for your own benefit. Have interest in politics, read about different parties, know about their political manifestos, choose leaders who understand your reality. Choose leaders who will genuinely come to provide a system that will actually support families and everyday people. Trump called it Liberation Day, but for millions of people around the world, it may become a day that tightens already struggling wallets. Inflation hitting so hard. Liberation Day, or should I say Inflation Day. So here's your wake-up call. Don't wait for someone else to save your finances. Start now. Ask the right questions. Study the system. Read books on finances. Read books on policies. Know about the market trends. Make intentional decisions and protect your household with wisdom, not fear. I'm Braimoh, and this is the Farm Podcast. If this episode opened your eyes, like it, share it, and drop a comment below. Let's help others wake up as well. Always remember that personal finance is personal and your mental well-being is priceless. Till then, be smart, be careful, look after your money, and look after your well-being. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the FAM Podcast. We hope you learned something valuable today. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. And remember, health is wealth, and wealth is health. We'll see you next time.